So I'm like, okay, like this is not you know, at least a tampon you can wear for at least 3 to 4 hours. Hello YouTubers, this is Amber. If you guys do not know who I am, I'm a plus size model, YouTuber, and entrepreneur. Today I'm going to be reviewing Thinx period panties. Yes, period panties. We all have to talk about this. So if you guys want to see this video, stay tuned. So when I first got these, I'm gonna call it psycho underwear instead of the P word, okay? So when I first got these psycho underwear, I was really excited to get them because at night, sometimes, you guys all know, when the liquid, you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about liquid, when the liquid rolls up your backside and it can make a mess. So that was my main concern of why I wanted to get Thinx, because I was like, man, I'm so tired of wearing these big old Pampers to bed and just feeling like the liquid is just rolling up my backside, and when I get up it just feels like it's rushing down. So what I did was went ahead and bought the Thinx. I checked them out. Now it says, according to them, it says that there's no odor, it holds up to 5 tampons, and that it has like special material in it. Let me go ahead and tell you guys about the cons. The cons is that it does leak. It says it's leak proof and it holds up to 5 tampons. I found that that wasn't necessarily true. Like when I was wearing the underwear, it took about 2 or 3 hours before the underwear was full, and then you can actually start seeing the transfer of the blood to whatever clothes that you were wearing slightly. It wasn't like it seeped through, but it did transfer liquid to the pants. So I was like, okay, it takes about 2 to 3 hours and then the underwear is full. Now on top of that, you have to like walk around during your day, and if you don't have multiple panties, because they sell 2 at a time and sometimes they sell bigger packages, I bought 2, and so I literally had to keep washing it out by hand and using them, like drying them and using them. And good thing I was at home and not just out in the public, because I felt like if I was out in the public, I would literally have to carry around underwear that had liquid in it and like put it in a bag or something. So I wouldn't want to be carrying around like underwear in my purse that had liquid in it. You get what I'm saying? Every 2 to 3 hours I had to change the underwear, every 2 to 3 hours, because it would be too full. So I'm like, okay, like this is not you know, at least a tampon you can wear for at least 3 to 4 hours. So you have to have multiple underwear all the time, because it's not very drying like it says. It does dry a little bit, but it's wet. Like you feel like slightly wet, but it's not seeping wet, if you get what I'm saying. So it's not super wet, but it's enough for you to feel like wetness. Like it still feels like coldness down there. So I noticed that. So I kept checking myself because it was feeling kind of damp. And I was checking it like, okay, like I don't know about this. It feels very damp down there. So I didn't know if it was transferring because I have a lot of black bottoms. So when I took the tissue and touched it to the back, it did transfer. So I'm like, okay, so it's not leak proof. It's 24 hours in a day, and you have to have different panties each at like almost 2 to 3 hours, every 2 to 3 hours. So you do the math on that, 24 hours, 2 to 3 hours, especially if you just started your cycle and it's heavy. So for me, it's heavy for 2 days. So imagine 3 divided by 24, like you have to think about that. So I was like a little bit like, oh, this is like a hassle a little bit, because I had to keep washing out the underwear just to do a full review for you guys. So I would wash it out and then let it hang dry, and then I would wash out the other ones when that finished within a couple hours and let it hang dry. I noticed that it kind of took a while for it to dry. I don't know why. It took a minute for it to completely dry, even if a fan was on it. So it took a while. So that was one thing. And then on top of that, I just felt like I wasn't so completely secure with the underwear. I don't know if I got the wrong underwear. Maybe there's a different one that has a heavier flow. I was very insecure about going places with this underwear unless they were freshly put on. If it's been an hour, I would be like, nah, I'm not gonna go nowhere unless I change these panties out and just go somewhere. I couldn't just go mid-hour and be like, okay, yeah, let's go somewhere, because you don't know how long you're gonna be. So that was a major thing for me. Like, I was a little bit insecure with going places with these underwear, so I stayed home for the full review. Okay, so the pros to this. Now, the pros to this is it's great for panty liner. Like, if you have a light day, I used it on my light day and I felt very secure on my light day. So it's great for a light day, like the end of your cycle or the very beginning, because the very beginning for me is very, very light and before it gets heavy. And I felt like, okay, this is perfect for a light day. I would still put on a tampon. It's great to put on a tampon and then wear this, so you don't have to wear a big bulky pad. If the tampon does overflow, it just goes into the period underwear. So I felt like that was a great combination, is having a tampon and the period panties together, and then you could just take it out as you go, and you can really replace pads with these period panties. That's what I really thought was a really great idea. I'm like, this is really useful for people that wear tampons and still have to wear pads, which is me, because I have to wear tampons and pads together. I felt like that was a relief because I don't have to wear the pads, the bulky pads, with the tampons on top of each other. So that was a major plus, and I could just wear regular underwear. Another thing is, it looks like regular underwear. It doesn't look like period panties. It looks like regular underwear. They're kind of cute, like, you know, they're very cute, and they're almost like slightly, I think they're slightly seamless, and it's not detectable that these are cycle panties, you know what I'm saying? So I like that it looks like regular underwear. Another pro to this is that it's great when you're laying down. Like, this is the biggest problem for me. When you're laying down and the liquid starts rolling up your backside, that is the biggest issue for me. I hate that. And I hate getting up and jumping up and running to the bathroom, making sure I don't make a mess because you can't use a tampon because you're not trying to get toxic shock. I hate that part. This was great on a heavy day when I would go to sleep. Even though I slept for about 8 hours, at least I knew for a fact that it wasn't completely seeping through, and it wasn't really transferable because I was laying backwards, because you guys know when you lay backwards, when you stand up, it comes down. So I think it was very helpful for nighttime. It was very helpful for light days, and it's very helpful with a pad with a tampon. You can save a lot of money not buying pads with this, so that's another pro. If you have these period panties in a Diva cup, that would probably save a lot of freaking money and save the environment. To me, it was a hit and miss, but yet I would probably give it a good C. I would give it a C only because of the other stuff. I don't feel secure on a heavy day, but other days I do feel secure. And this would work really good for people that possibly have like bladder leaks. This would work good for people that might have you know, other little issues like pregnancy and stuff like that, that has slight bladder leaks, or possibly even pee on yourself, because I think it can hold so much liquid at one point, but over time it just can't hold a lot of liquid for like 2 or 3 hours. So if something happens, like if you have an accident or anything like that, I think this would probably go pretty well with somebody who has a situation with bladder leaks or whatever. So I think that it could be good. It's almost like a pamper that doesn't look like a pamper. It's almost like that. I do think it's a great idea. I just think they just need to be more innovative with how to keep the leaks from coming through. So I wasn't completely secure with it, but hey, it's a really great idea. I think that you guys should try it. All the information will be down below. And yes, this is not a sponsored video. This is my opinion. You guys know I do reviews and I try to be as honest as possible. So check it out. Tell me in the comments below, would you check out these period panties or not? Make sure you comment below if you would or if you wouldn't. And this is the end of the video. Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Mwah!